mission pilot from Inspiration 4, and I want you to aim higher with whatever you decide to do with your unique talents and strengths.
Aim higher for equality.
Aim higher because trust me, you are capable of more than you know.
I want to wish you a happy World Space Week and encourage you to aim higher, dream big, and shoot for the stars. Or in my case, Mars.
On Astra, to the stars. So what if you only make it to Mars? You've still gone pretty darn far.
Aim high. Dreams really do come true.
I was able to become a scientist because when I was a kid, I had adults in my life who believed that I could, and I believe in you, so I will always encourage you to aim higher.
Aim higher. And I'm here to encourage you to aim higher for women in space.
Dream big, aim higher, and shoot for your stars.
Stars aren't the limit. Aim higher.
Aim higher.
Aim higher.
I want to encourage you to follow your dreams, stay determined, always aim higher.
Aim higher. The galaxy is the limit.
I believe you will make your dreams come true. Aim higher for your dreams.
Aim higher for the next generation.
Aim higher for Spaceship Earth.
The universe is endless, so aim higher for everything you can imagine and more.
Why aim low when you can aim high?
Okay, get ready.
Aim higher for our future.
Education changes everything. Study
Okay.
hard, work hard.
Okay, so we made it in the video. So that was kind of neat. And also during this World Space Week, they had like a just like a panel, a virtual panel, and they had like the chief engineer at NASA, and they had lots of different people. And then they asked if I could come up with some questions, you know, from kids. So it was right at the beginning of our fall breaks, but I did get one of our former students, Sneh Patel, to ask a question, and it was a really good question. And then the engineers all chimed in on it. It was really cool because then I was able to send in that interview later on throughout the day. But hopefully this will lead to some other more partnerships with people. I've kind of talked to when I was in Atlanta, some people that were at Georgia Tech and at AUI about how our STEM lab runs, and they kind of seem like they like to work with us on future projects, which can be really neat. The one guy that I talked to the most, he started out as a regular classroom teacher, and his students were the first to capture a supernova, or like I said, exploding star, just in their classroom. Like he had the equipment in there, and they discovered it, and it's kind of went from there. So that's kind of what I see happening for our students, getting some really cool opportunities to expand past East Tennessee, hopefully. That's it.
Great, thank you. I hear such great things from the STEM lab, and the kids so excited about what we're doing, and it be so much different from all the way around from other schools.
Yeah.
So I appreciate what you do and
Thank you.
the work you put into it. You always make it fun for the kids.
It's awesome. They're talking about how the commercial space travel is starting to. They're starting to talk about how do you get middle school kids to start looking that they could be the people doing that. So yeah, it's awesome that you're giving them a chance to look at the future.
They're going to see somebody walk on Mars. They're going to be. I mean, some of these kids are going to go to space. So that's exciting
awesome
just to think about.
Very good stuff. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, Michelle and Kathy with the COVID report. Y'all got a big shoes to fill. You weren't on Space Week.
Thanks for that. The good thing about it is we've been knocked down. We're not the first thing on the list.
That's right.
I will just report to you what.
Well, no, you're all right. Okay, all right. I forgot about that.
Apologize.
That's okay. You've been at physical therapy. You're all right.
Going to physical therapy,
I said
not
physical.
any other therapy yet. I just want to say that I'm going to share with you the numbers I gave to the phase committee, and they only changed by 1. So I hope that means a little down. I'm afraid to jinx it. We had 6 exposed students. We have 7
have they given you the stipulations of, or the,
I got an email.
right,
First
of what it needs to
you're gonna
be?
the facilitator. Yes.
Yeah, I'm a facilitator, so I'll get with y'all.
It's a 45-minute, I guess, presentation. So
Right.
my plan is, just so you know, my plan is I'm gonna go through my slides, and then when I get done, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Gee.
No.
Well, I figured the last 10 to 15 would be Q&A anyway.
She said it would. Well, 15 minutes, yeah, 45 presentation, 15
For
more
Q&A, yeah.
answers, so.
But, I mean, I think this is a huge deal because you all work, and again, Newport Grammar School got put on the map last year because what Seth keeps reiterating and we keep talking about, we were in school 165 days. People are asking, how'd y'all do it? Well, how we did it. Y'all were a spokesperson for how we did it. You're speaking for how we did with the phase group, the administration, and how we did it. So, I mean, you know, we got that, and they were asking us about that, and so, I mean, the last time that we presented anything was Linda Branham, wasn't it? With Shark Kids.
Well, Linda did it, and then we did it. It's been a long time.
I did it on, when we did Terrific Tuesday Travels, I did it, and then Sandy and I did it on, what did we do it on?
It must not have been too memorable.
Because neither one of them can remember it, but.
I've done it twice, but I don't
Right,
know.
so, I mean, you know, the thing is we're out there and our plan needs to be out there to what we did because again, we're one of the ones that are putting the kids in school.
I do think there'll be more people in attendance because it's at 1 o'clock.
Right.
And when you get that earlier time, more show up because they go shopping after about 3 o'clock.
So look for a packed house, but anyway, go ahead.
That's understood, that's fine, no big deal. But we are getting that ready, and, we'll be situated
And they have their rooms reserved, I do want you, you all have yours too.
so, appreciate that.
Thank you for doing
Questions
it.
about Seth? I don't know if you wanna say anything about this.
Go ahead,
You're a
Seth.
better interpreter about these numbers.
Okay.
but-
I would say it's a decently positive picture from what we've seen in recent weeks or the last couple months with the active cases going down. We were at a high of 621 on August 23rd, and we're down to 249. These are countywide numbers. The bottom chart is actually cases ages 0 to 20 compared to total new cases, and still a little high there, 32.5% in October. It's trending a little bit lower than it was in September and August, and then so that's kind of the gist of the highlights there. Backside Sevier County, if you want to compare it to that, I do that report daily for work, so I just kind of send it to Michelle.
And I love for him to send that to me, that way I know whether I need to go to Spearville or not.
Right.
And I'll mention just briefly, Kathy, I found it interesting, Ms. Burchett usually will ask me, is there a grade level that these are occurring? And I usually try to have that answer for her when I talk to her. And so it was very ironic that these positives came in Monday and Tuesday, I guess, and there's one in every grade level, so I couldn't say. I mean, it's spread out.
I thought that was so weird when you said
But we're
that.
not here for anything to have happened, exposures or anything like that, so that's why our exposure numbers are down. So.
What's that percentage represent there? Does that represent what? What's that percentage there? The 32.41, what's that, Seth?
32.41, sorry.
The October 21, 0 to 20,
Mm-hmm.
we're 32.41% of what?
Oh, that is that's cases ages 0 to 20. There's 94 in the county since October 1, and then there's two total.
Well, I see that's the percentage of all total cases. I get it now.
Yes.
I get it now.
For the month.
So 30% or better than 0 to 20. Is that trending higher or staying the same? Or?
It's actually down from September.
Down from September and August.
And August. We were 18.97 in July. And then jumped to 36.04 in August, 33.27 in September.
Kathy and I were feeling it in August, and that was kind of shocking. I thought we might, but not, it just boom and hit. And luckily
Spray, right.
Anyway, but.
Flu shot clinic,
Flu shot clinic, we have completed, that was, help me, when did we do that?
I think it's September 29th.
September, it's the end of September, first part, right over there before October, so flu shot clinic is done.
okay,
And, I'm working on, well, I had to get with Amy Pitts, and so hopefully they're gonna be back in that clinic. I messaged her today, and I said, there were not, the air conditioning was an issue. Well, obviously, we didn't need that today, so I thought it was a prime time to check and see where we stood on that. So she's supposed to get back with me tomorrow, as soon as she gets instructions from her boss.
okay.
So hopefully we'll have them up and going. And the testing, we've made progress on that. We've got our CLIA waiver, we've got the payment sent, what else, Kathy? The MCAP, whatever that is, that we had to fill out and send in. There's all these hoops that needed to be jumped through to even get the order. And so I think we're close to ordering the test. And once we get the test ordered and they're delivered, we'll be good to go. So
Okay.
hopefully that'll be, I'm hoping by the, we were striving to do that by October. So now I'm gonna push, well, let's hope by the end of October, surely to goodness, we'll at least have the test ordered.
Okay.
So, I don't know how long it'll take me to get here.
I think other schools are in the same situation as we are, you know. We would like it been sooner, but I think everybody's having to jump through the hoops.
Well, I agree, I think they hyped it up to say, oh, you all can do all the testing, you all can do this, but they didn't put in all the hoops you had to jump through to do it. They didn't give you all that information on the front end. You had to find that out once you said, yes, we're gonna test.
And the state did not even do the webinar that we watched until that was probably September. So that, and then once they did that webinar, and I had a picture of what we were supposed to be doing, you know, I ran with it. So I think we've got a grip on it. I don't wanna say that because something will go wrong.
Do you know the percent, I hate to interrupt, but do you know the percentage of districts that have gotten this grant? Because I know the commissioner is still pushing for more districts to hop on board of this, so I have a feeling not a lot. I thought, I know Cobb County did, and we did, but I don't know.
At my coordinated school health meeting, there were very few, very few.
I kinda thought that
So-
from how the commissioner and them are pushing.
Anyway, any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cafeteria manager report.
Okay, I don't really have a whole lot. These are gonna be the figures from September. We had 20 operational days. We served a total of 12,376 student reimbursable meals. That's not including teachers, staff, or any other meals served. That's just what I can submit as a reimbursement. For breakfast, there was 3,988 meals, and lunch, there was 8,388 meals served. So September was really good for the cafeteria. Our reimbursement was great. We received 100 on our health inspection, so that's the first of 2 inspections that we'll get throughout the school year. They're unannounced. We don't know when, Casey Hicks will come. He just shows up. He actually showed up in the middle of our serving period, so nobody knew, but we ended up by getting 100, so that was good. Which they're very diligent on, where not to leave rags, what to do, what needs to be covered and things like that. So I'm not at all concerned if he were to pop up tomorrow, to do a follow-up or, do the second inspection, it would be good to go. So I was pleased with that. I am putting on, every time I send out a menu items subject to change. With the shortage of food, I just never know what I'm gonna get. I could place the order and then come Monday, they say, oh, we can't get this. Like today, we were supposed to have a chicken sandwich and barbecue. Well, we didn't get the barbecue. It's kind of one of those things. So I'm trying to keep items on hand to where if we don't have that menu item, that we could substitute something else. I'll try to keep the faculty and staff in the know. Also, I'm kind of playing with the menus. When we have a field trip, when you plan your 3-week menu cycle, that's done the school year before. And then when you have a field trip, each grade level does a field trip on different days or whatever. And we've got a field trip, 3 grade levels going on popcorn chicken day. So I sent out an email earlier today that we're gonna swap the menu and kind of reverse it, because that's a huge selling day. 3 whole grade levels missing. So the menu change that I sent out today is just to swap that, just so that we would have more student participation on a higher day. Popcorn chicken goes over a whole lot better than hamburgers, and in the long run for the month, that'll help out the bottom dollar for us, because that'll be more meals. So I did switch that. Bag lunches, I've asked all the teachers to at least give me a week, a week's notice of a field trip of who is requesting, so I know what to order, because I don't wanna order things in and just have them taking up space in my cooler or my freezer if there's not gonna be any participation, or if the kids are gonna go to McDonald's. If they're gonna have the option to go to McDonald's, that's great. They're probably gonna do that instead of getting a bag lunch. So I just need to know ahead of time. And so I can get groceries ordered and all that, which is, they've been really good with giving me that ahead of time. Miss Burchett had something posted on Facebook for the cafeteria looking for a part-time position. I've had a lot to inquire, over 15 people, and I've contacted every single one of them. Some are actually looking for a part-time job, like a Monday through Friday, and I can't give them that because my staff is full right now, as far as I'm looking more for somebody when somebody in my staff is not there to kind of, fill in their role. So there have been a few that have been interested in just a substitute, part-time substitute position. And if they have, I've just told them to come into see Barb, get the non-certified employment application, fill it out, and then Barb will give that to Sheila. And when she gives that to Sheila, and it gets approved after they do their fingerprints and all that, then Sheila will let me know, and then I can add it to my sub list. I haven't gotten anything back yet, so that I can add anybody to the sub list, but I mean, it's a huge stepping stone. I got a lot of warm bodies that are interested. We'll see what comes,
I was impressed.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've talked to them, and they'll say, okay, I'll come in, and then I'll call up to Lisa Sloan and say, did anybody come in today? Nope. So, but we did. I think we've had like 2 or 3 to actually come in to get the rest of the paperwork. So, I'm hopeful, that maybe it'll be something, because I need a break from trying to, to do everything. I mean, we went a whole month with 1 worker down, and then I went 2 weeks with 2 workers down. Tomorrow I've got 2 more workers not here. So it's just kind of, if we can get that ball rolling for the part-time positions, then it would just make it easier, on me to get a sub in, to fill that way, I can still do what I need to do and get my job done at the same time. So I'm very thankful for that, because, hopefully that's a positive lead going in the right direction to get, help. So, and that's all I have for right now.
Great, thank you. Anybody? Okay.
I'm gonna go next so that we can get the loudness out of the meeting.
You're fine.
I apologize, I didn't have anybody watching.
You're fine.
Hopefully, we have all the budgets ready. We're just waiting on the state to approve all the budgets. They're a little bit behind. So hopefully, next month, we'll have budgets ready for you to vote on. We also have 6 teachers who have started the fall Reading 360 training. This was the training that 11 of our primary teachers started this summer, and the state opened up a fall session. So those teachers have now started this past Saturday, and they'll be doing the same training as those this summer. And that means that we'll have a total of 16 teachers trained on the Learn 360 summer program. Our materials that we get from the state for that program started coming in today, so we'll be able to distribute those materials to the teachers who already had the training to use in their classrooms sometime this week. And that's all I have for you tonight.
Thank you. Anybody got questions? Thank you. We can go ahead and go to Justin. You ready, Justin? Okay. I know you're doing your principal's report first, or?
Michael's first.
Okay.
The end of the 9 weeks is fast approaching. It is this week. We get out early. Thursday, we get out at 1 o'clock, and we're out of school on Friday because we have teachers going to training. So the end of the 9 weeks is this Thursday. Grade cards will go out next Friday. Scholar Bowl is off and running. You guys approved that last month, and we've had 2 meetings so far, and a lot of participation. I've been very pleased, as Michael has too, this is his, but I've been here to see it too. It's been very well received by the students, and they're all very excited to give it a try. So I think Mr. Stephen was going to do kind of like a pre-test, like they do with Jeopardy, kind of give the test to see, because obviously can't have 30 kids on a scholarship team, so we have to kind of get through that, but it's good to see the interest going. He seems to be doing really well with it. Basketball season is also quickly approaching. Our first game, I believe, is the 11th. They've been scrimmaging and they've been practicing. Yeah, you all got a schedule up there to look at. I made some notes. We do have 9 home dates, which is quite a few for us. We talked last Thursday at our COVID meeting. This is kind of bleeding into mine too, so I don't know if we need to cut and take through it. Mrs. Burchett has reached out to all of the other directors because we're in a new area. I think they call it district area. This year it's Hawkins, Greene counties, Washington County. So we've sent an email to them just to make sure they are aware of our protocols for masks and social distancing for fans and players. So she's heard back from one.
But I'm sure they all got the message.
So it wasn't really one like, it was just, please
It
let
was
your
just
people
stating
know.
the facts, and you want to
Yeah.
tell them what we're going to do, because Jan was on the task force, but you may want to just kind of give them an overview. I sent out a text message to them, to kind of tell them what we decided.
What we've decided is, obviously, you all decided that players will not wear masks while they're actively participating in the game on the court. But on the sidelines, and the coaches, and the cheerleaders, they will all wear masks on the sidelines. And obviously, any fan that enters the building will be required to wear a mask at all times, as is policy, as we did last year. And then when they come onto the court to do their halftime routine, then they can remove their masks to do their dance or cheer routine. That is kind of what we're going with for now, and everybody hopefully will be on board when they come to visit us. So we're just encouraging them to continue, because like we said, if somebody gets sick, it could, be a detriment to our season. We're getting close enough now, we're 2 weeks off, we take a big chunk of games out. Something that didn't affect us much, this is kind of basketball related as well, the associations around us are having problems finding officials. So I think we had to move a couple games, but they weren't home games.
So that may not be the next day is going to
We
be.
didn't, I don't know about away games. I didn't look into those.
It doesn't matter about that.
No, the home games are the same, so that's what matters. But some of the places, they would not let us play on the same nights as high schools for some of the associations, because they didn't have officials. Nobody wants to get yelled at, stuff thrown at them, I guess. Which is frustrating.
It's shortage all the way around with all the
Yeah.
sports. We
Yeah.
were short 5 Saturday for football.
Let's see, what else we have? Classroom observations are off and running, we're in the middle of those right now, getting as many classrooms as we can. Christina mentioned the cafeteria, we're doing our part to help her out as much as we can down there. She's short a couple people, like she said, she can't really get subs, so she goes out there and does a lot of the leg work and the cleaning, and we just kind of help out with the supervision and, getting kids in and out, stuff that she usually will help with, or there are ladies that would usually be there to help with, so, we're doing our part there. And then coming up, next week, we're gonna have our first school-wide positive behavior award, a little snow cone party, a couple different dates there, one for the younger grades, one for the older grades. That'll be an end of the day kind of thing, because it's lots of sugar, so we don't wanna sugar them up too early. We'll probably try to avoid Friday for the younger grades, because we'll be probably doing Halloween celebrations, so we'll probably do theirs on Thursday, and then bigger kids on the Friday, which will be nice, because they don't necessarily do a Halloween party per se, but just to have a little snow cone treat for achieving highly with the behaviors the first time. I believe that covers both mine and Michael's report. Any questions on anything?
I do have a question on the schedule. Of course, Rhonda's not here, or Clint, but, and it may be just by default that the other teams don't have it, but there's only 4 JV girl games and there's 11 JV boy games.
That's exactly what it is.
So the teams just don't have JV girls?
We still have our Saturday league with the county. So they'll play every Saturday morning, I guess they rotate that.
They rotate around.
So we'll still have that. We don't have a schedule for that yet, because I'll have to figure that out, for duties. But, yeah, they said, like, a few of the teams weren't sure even until they had tryouts. Like, one of the teams didn't know they had a girls team at all. And they added a girls team later to the varsity only. So it's been changed areas, that they still have some of the same problems. They can't get enough students to play, for the girls JV. So that was the first thing she said, because when we looked at it, it's very, like you said, very skewed, but, I mean, we can't, you know.
Right, I mean, we're not gonna say the boys can't play because the girls don't have a team. I mean, I agree with that. I want them to play,
I
but.
think they try to get as many of the girls' games at home, I mean, obviously, because when you're playing, usually you'll flip, like, you know, girls at home for one, and the boys the other, you know. But I think they try to get more of the girls' games at home as well. 'Cause we've
Well,
got
it's just a
some-
huge travel this year too.
We've got
with
some
this
long
new-
hauls heading up north,
We've got
northeast.
huge travel concerns
Mhm.
We're
with the
gonna
way.
burn up 81, it looks like, so.
And we might as well take the residency up 81.
Yeah.
You know, I wondered what.
You see
maybe
that?
we're wondering
All
whether
back.
we
Yeah.
could get some of the
Jonesboro.
Jonesboro,
come in.
Rogers will
So
see
the
going.
county plays, they're playing full schedules too, the same time we're playing, so it's hard
Yeah,
to
that's
just
the
have
whole
JV
thing.
only games. I mean, that's what the Saturdays are for, so, they'll have at least one game a week, and then plus practices, you know, pushing our team. You know, girls, I'm thinking, I can't remember how many girls they said they had on the team, I don't remember, but they're mainly sixth and seventh grade. We don't have a whole lot of eighth graders. So those JV girls do a lot of work in for practice and stuff.
Anybody got? Okay. All right, then that takes us to Justin, with systems and assessment.
Okay, so speaking of subs, I sent an email to you all after our meeting, after our sub training on September 27th, that we had 6 people attend that meeting. One of them has been cleared and officially on the sub list now. The other 5 we're waiting on things to come back, background checks and so forth. And then since then, I had one additional parent that was unable to attend on that day due to a scheduling conflict that has come in and trained since then. So we've trained a total of 7 people, one of them on the list, and hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll see the other 6 on there as well. Let's see, I also had 3 different subs that were already on our sub list that asked that I share a thank you to the board and to Ms. Burchett for recommending and then approving the sub pay increase. We actually had one sub ask could she go back on the list, but we've already snatched her up for a different spot now. So thought we had one more on the list, but we don't now. 2 things. One, the ESSER 3.0 information. On the agenda, there is an item on there to approve the ESSER 3.0 application documents. You got a copy of those in your packet. Those documents that you have there, we were required by the state to post those to our website, to put those together that show a public-facing document that explains how our spending is going to be done. And it's not only just ESSER 3, but it's ESSERs 1 and 2, and some additional other funding items that are all shown on there too, and how all that fits together. We also had to post that in 4 languages on our website. In addition to English, we had to make sure that the other major languages that are present in our schools' families was available too. So we have Spanish, Gujarati, and Vietnamese on our website too. So I noticed a lot of neighboring districts only put up Spanish, so they'll have to get those other figured out a little bit later if they have other in their district. What you're gonna see in there, like I said, is the kind of the big picture of how all of these different ESSERs fit together. And that was, again, the public-facing document. That document had to go to the state first and had to get approval before they would even look at the actual budget in E-Plan. We got an update today that those documents are officially approved, and now the state's gonna start on Friday looking at the actual budget piece that is an E-Plan for ESSER 3. So that then, once they get that approved, we can actually start spending some of the stuff we planned for. You also have laying on your table there a copy of the strategic plan. This will be the upcoming calendar year. So starting in January, so we'd like to have this in place. This 5-year strategic plan is a copy for you to give us some feedback on, to see, are there any of these things that we need to address, remove, something we've left off, that sort of thing. We'd like to be able to get it approved at the next board meeting, and that way we can say that it officially goes into effect starting in January. This is taking our previous strategic plan that had a lot of these elements that were brand new for the first time, like our technology and several of the other things on there, and updating that so that it pushes us to the next level with a lot of those things. The facilities section, the fifth goal on there, the things under it are all items that we have planned for in ESSER. So those are goals, whether we're doing them with ESSER or we make adjustments on down the road within the 5 years that'll go towards it. And ESSER.
Because ESSER goes through 2024. And so that'll take us several years into that. And, you can go back and modify it after we achieve. Hopefully, we're going to do each of those that are listed there. They're listed on our ESSER 3.0. We're just waiting for the state on many things to get approved.
And like I said, a lot of those are kind of the next phase of some of the goals that we already had in place on the previous strategic plan that ends in December of this year. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Anybody? Director's report?
Okay. What I had attached to your agenda, the thing from Rockwell's Construction Company, they were the only ones that presented a bid for our new bathroom rooms down in the 3rd grade hallway. And their bid was $209,715. And when I met with Sean and the architect, Daryl, I told him we could not pay that he was gonna have to rethink it and look at it. So the changing order brought it down $37,000. So as I put on the agenda to vote on, the total price will be $179,043, which is a fair price. We're not going to necessarily remodel the teacher side, but we felt like we could put, new paint and everything, new sinks and new toilets and stuff, and give it a new facelift for the teachers down there also. And I wanted to bring to the attention, I had put in your packets about, we had 3 up for tenure that are here tonight. Candy Baxter, that teaches kindergarten. Lisa Herndon, that teaches our special ed extended resource room. And Paige Holt, our music teacher. They're up for tenure. And Mr. Short recommended them, and they do a great job. Very energetic people, and they have high demanding jobs, and we just want to say congratulations for making it to 5 years. That's right. And their scores, their evaluations and everything make them eligible to be approved for tenure. And I have their shirts ordered through Rhonda, but they're just not here yet. And I think that is about everything that I had to say. As Amy has said, Justin has said, we have turned all of these grants and amended grant budgets and stuff, but the state is a little lagging behind. So next time, you may have several things that you have to approve. But we can't spend the ESSER money until they get approved. So we're just hoping and waiting. And I have, that's about all you can do. Just keep checking with the state. And they assured me out of 700 and some plans, documents and things that the commissioner has read, I think, did I tell you just in about 400 or 300 of them, so she has half of them left to read over, to approve. So we're looking forward to getting to spend that money on ESSER 3.0 since it's a larger amount of money. That's about it. Unless you all have questions.
It's kind of unrelated, and I should have let you know before, but I just thought about it on the way home. Have we heard anything about what the state restructuring BEP? Have you heard anything through your?
They're meeting, they have formed committees and everything.
Right.
So I don't think it's taken off yet. I
Okay.
think there's going to be a lot of discussion about it. And hopefully we'll see more come our way. I think one of the biggest complaints is that, like, we have more teachers than we get money from the state for, So we have to come up with that amount of money for their salaries. And I think that was one of the complaints with the directors, that they really want more provided for these teachers that we're having to employ, that we do not get any money for. And, that's one of their biggest things, plus, you know, those test scores, I'm sure you've heard about that, they really want to use last year's as the baseline instead of going back to 2019. And those seem to be the hot spots with, especially these directors that are from these large districts. But if I hear anything, I'll send out, if I receive emails, I'll send them out to you all.
I think the most recent thing said that there are 19 subcommittees
Yes.
that they formed.
Yeah,
To
there-
represent all the different interests.
Right, there was an article in the News Sentinel today that I briefly just touched, and it had like the chairman of those committees.
Yes.
Yeah. That was released on.
I noticed there were just a few superintendents, which I'm surprised were put in as chair people. I think more were state people that were gonna chair these committees, which is concerning
Yeah,
at times.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. A couple of things that I wanted us to discuss on the board side that, normally in regular world, we combine our November and our December meetings, but with, I think with COVID and our numbers and things going on and with ESSERs, I think we probably still ought to just meet. We meet November 15th. Then later that week, we go to the annual convention, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But we could meet the one thing, lots of times it falls that we actually meet the Monday we come back, and Nikki and Linda and I would be traveling back or whatever, so we don't meet that, but we meet the 15th this year, would be our third Monday, so I think, of course, it's up to the pleasure of the board. I just am bringing it up that whether we should meet in November or not.
Sounds like a good idea.
I mean, I think it is, Mickey has agreed, so, I mean, I think.
Yeah. I would go ahead and.
Seth says, David, what do you think? Nathan?
I think we should. Sorry about
Okay.
that, the mute button.
That's all right, I figured you muted. Okay, so general consensus is that we'll go ahead and meet on November 15th, so you can post that we will be, thank you, sir. And that'll hit our website, because lots of times we combine them. So that was one thing that I wanted to talk about real quick.
Let me ask you a question while we're on this. You and I gonna be the delegate assembly?
She's turned us in, so I guess we are. Mickey and I will be the delegate assembly representatives for Newport Grammar School District in the big meeting that everybody has to vote on the stuff. The other thing, I'm trying to think back, it wasn't the October, was it the October meeting or was it the September meeting? When we discussed cohorts.
It's like August or something.
Justin, help me. Was it the
It's
September
I think
meeting?
it's the second August meeting.
Or was it the second August meeting we met? It may have been the second August. Okay, thank you. Second August meeting. We discussed cohorts and we said, go ahead and let's move forward. All right. And we've revisited it every meeting, but the thing is that leading up to the end of the 9 weeks is this week coming up. So we have stayed with the cohorts because I feel like they have worked. The next 9 weeks is actually going to fall before our January meeting / retreat. So I had been approached by the phase group, and we talked about it, the administration, to say, would the board entertain moving, because normally it always falls on Martin Luther King Day, that we have our meeting, but then that's too late, and it's too late for it to be. If we decide that we can relax and not go to cohorts, we need to do that before that 9 weeks starts, if that makes sense. I mean, I don't know if I'm saying this as clear as mud. I'm sorry, but if we wait and meet Martin Luther King Day as our third Monday, our meeting, then the teachers will have already started in cohorts and will have to back out of cohorts. So if we move our meeting to January 10th, the Monday prior, it would help out our teachers if we were to relax the cohorts. Not saying we will, but if, in the event that the numbers showed that we could, that we relax that, then they wouldn't start in it and have to backtrack out. Again, it is the pleasure of the board, I'm just bringing that to you all as a
Is this
preface
gonna be
to
the
say.
second, or this coming, or the third one?
So it would be,
9 weeks,
it would be the beginning of the third 9 weeks.
okay.
Correct, so we will have spent 2 9 weeks in it for the most part, and it would start the third 9 week. So, if it were to be, and again, if you all would prefer to stay where we're at and just say we're gonna stay in cohorts and that's where we're gonna go all year, that's fine, it's gonna be a moot point, we won't move the meeting. But if we're gonna look to entertain it and discuss it, then we need to look at possibly moving our meeting, backtrack it to the 10th of January.
Jan, can I insert here?
Yes.
I'm not trying- I wonder if we should ask maybe for some of the teachers' input, because there may be a lot that's involved. If they switch them back around.
I agree.
You know, they may just as soon leave them in the cohorts for the remainder of the year. I mean, I don't know, I think we need to.
Okay,
have
so
maybe a
then as the
input.
administration, could you, okay, then we don't have to discuss this till the November meeting, and you all get
Kinda
with the
get their
teachers and
input.
say
It'd be third grade through.
what you wanna do.
Just to kinda
So is that okay with everybody?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, because I would much rather have the teachers' input, is it just be us saying,
It would affect some of like their data pieces that they're getting back, and that way they can keep consistent, like comparing groups and how.
okay.
So there's some elements to that, I think.
Then I agree wholeheartedly that we enlist their opinions, because they're the ones that's neck deep in the trenches, not us. So thank you for bringing that up, Sandy. So we'll discuss that, put that on the November
And we'll have answers.
area, the November meeting, that we'll discuss that and go from there, okay?
Are we gonna do the retreat and the board meeting on the same day?
We normally do, so I mean, I would figure we'd
didn't know
try to
if
do
we
that.
did last year.
No, we actually didn't do that last year, we did it separately because we had so much to talk about at the retreat that we didn't want it to go into the meeting. So that's something that you all we need to think about as a board and bring it to the board in November of what we wanna do. Do we wanna do the retreat one day and the meeting the next or another? Let that be the pleasure of the board and us discuss it in November, so just put that on your back burner to know what we want to talk about.
Sounds good.
I missed something on my list.
Okay.
So real quick, it's kind of important. We have moved open house. It's kind of a big deal.
Well, that was the next thing I was gonna bring up, but I'm glad you brought it up. Go ahead.
We moved open house, we've tentatively set a date for spring, well, winter, whatever, for February 10th of 2022. It's a Thursday before one of Black Friday, so it's kind of a short day of teachers the day after, so not completely exhausted, but we felt with everything. We still weren't ready to open our doors because, open houses, come on in, it's not meetings, it's, come and go as you please, and we just don't feel like we're quite ready as a school and community to do that. People say basketball is a little more confined. You bring them in and put them in bleachers better out. We have people running around the building for open house, seeing everybody, going to see all the teachers.
No way to track it.
We check with Amy to make sure that they're okay with doing that still. She says, we have to do it, but yes, it's okay to do it in the spring. So, we pick February, with the snow, we've got to march back, I think. So, sorry I missed that.
No, that's fine, because the reasoning behind that was the phase meeting group said, do we have to have an open house? Can we still just do it by appointment only and say we're only gonna do parent-teacher conference on appointment only? Because that's much more controlled. And when they discussed it, and Ms. Burchett said, well, I think because of Title I and all, we have to have it. So, in checking back with Amy, yes, we do have to have an open house. So, that's when the group as a whole, Dustin said, let's move it.
Just have certain grades on certain nights or something with the pandemic still.
Yeah.
And we did discuss that, with that we might do, as bad as we hate to say it, K3 on one night, 4-8 on another night, to limit numbers again if we had to do that, if the COVID numbers, keep us from, if that's how we feel we need to do it, but we'll still do it under the stipulations that we're still not gonna just open it up K through 8 for everybody just to come in. We're gonna try to limit and have controlled chaos. But, I mean, in the event of that, you could almost have it, that building, this building, except for art and music and a couple other things that would have to be over in the primary building, so we could limit the movement. So thank you though, Dustin, for bringing that up, because I actually did have that on the list of the touching points on it. I don't have anything else. Did any of the other board members have anything? I just always have to throw that date out there.
Right. The only thing I was gonna say is the motion we made for the cohorts is only for the first 9 weeks, we're planning to have an
Yes.
agenda item, okay?
Because we're into the second night, so we did do that. That was the other thing is motion-wise, we need to bring it up because we only said the cohorts for the first 9 weeks and we revisit it. And now the way our meetings have fallen, we're into the second one, and so we just have to move it forward.
Okay, sounds good.
Anything else? Seth? Nikki? David?
Good.
Nathan?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, then let's just move right on into the meeting. Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, all members present. We have Nathan on the Zoom on his iPad, all others present. First thing on the agenda is to approve, on the consent agenda, is to approve the September 20th minutes.
Make a motion.
I have a motion by Mickey. Do I have a second? I have a second by David. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Moving into the business agenda, approve the following field trips. I can do that as a whole, can I? Okay.
Good.
Approve the following field trips, and we're gonna do it all in one big lump sum. Kindergarten to Newport Cinema 4 on December 10th. Transportation will be on a Cobb County bus. Cost per student will be $12. 6th grade to Newport Cinema 4 on December 15th, 2021. Transportation on a Cobb County bus. Student cost will be $12. 1st grade to the Newport Cinema 4 on November 22nd, 2021. Transportation will be on a Cobb County school bus. The cost per student will be $12. 2nd grade to Ripley Aquarium in Gatlinburg on December 9th, 2021. Transportation will be on the Cobb County school bus. The cost per student will be $15. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Seth, a motion by Nathan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I do have a question. On approving the tenure, do I need to do them individually? I think I do. I think we do have to do those individually. So, approve the following for tenure, and the first on our list is Candy Baxter.
I make a motion.
I have a motion by Mickey. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by David. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations. Approve the following for tenure, Lisa Herndon. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion.
Okay, I have a motion by David. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Nathan. All in favor? Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? Congratulations. And I have to approve the following for tenure, Paige Holt. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion by Seth. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mickey. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations. Ladies, thank you and congratulations. Moving on to fundraiser. Fundraiser for the NGS Scholars Bowl. Hat Day on November 19th. Nicholas Steffen is the sponsor. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion by David. It doesn't have any stipulations of how much the cost is to wear a
Yeah,
hat.
I don't put that, I'm sorry. I
Okay,
think it's
I'm
$1.
getting a one, so I'm getting $1.
Yeah, $1.
$1 for the fundraiser to wear a hat for the Scholars Bowl. I have a motion by David. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mickey. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Fundraisers for Karen Chambers Extended Resource Class. She actually has 3. I'll do those separately because they fall individually. She wants to do a hot dog lunch at $8 per meal. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion by Mickey. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Seth. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There's no dates on this, so.
The reason is it's already passed, and I just kind of slipped it in, thought you might vote for them all as a lump sum.
Okay, well, I mean, we
I'm
could've,
sorry.
that's fine. I just thought because they were individual.
She had to go ahead because they're leaving in December to try to see if she could get all the money
To
together.
get the money together, that's fine, okay. So, the next two we'll do as a lump sum. Pajama Day, $1 per student, and a Krispy Kreme donut voucher, selling those $9 per voucher. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion by David. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Seth. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Travel for Michelle Black, Coordinator of School Health. There's several of these we'll do in one lump. CSH, which is Coordinated School Health, Professional Development on November 1st in Gray, Tennessee. RHAT Conference, November 17th through the 19th in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Coordinated School Health Professional Development on January 10th in Gray, Tennessee. Coordinated School Health Institute, February 28th through March 2nd of 2022 in Murfreesboro. Coordinated Health Professional Development, April 11th in Gray, Tennessee. And TSBA Convention on November 20th in Nashville, Tennessee. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
I have a motion by Mickey. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by David. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Travel for Kathy Reagan, school nurse. TSBA Convention on November 20th, 2021 in Nashville, and the TASN Conference in Murfreesboro on October 27th and 28th. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion by David.
Second.
I have a second with Seth. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Travel for Amy Messer, Pamela Vernon, Sheila Pack, Barb Suggs, and Sandra Burchett to the TASBO Conference in Murfreesboro on November 15th through the 18th, 2021. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion by David. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mickey with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Travel for Sandra Burchett to TSBA Convention in Nashville, Tennessee on November 18th through the 21st. Do I have
Make a motion.
Mickey with a motion. Do I have a second? Seth with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Fiscal year 22, ESSER 3.0 application approval. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion by Seth. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by David. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 2021 Local Education Agency Compliance Report. LEA is in compliance with all federal and state education law rules. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion by Nathan. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seth with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Accept the resignations of Rachel Price and Morgan Benton. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
I have a motion by Mickey. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second with David. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 2021-2022 amended Safe Schools budget. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion by Seth. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second is David. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 2021-2022 amended volunteer pre-K budget. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion by Mickey. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seth with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 2021-2022 amended coordinated school health budget.
Motion.
I have a motion by Seth. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mickey with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The only bid that was sent in was by Brockwell, so accept Brockwell's construction bid of the cost of the third grade toilet edition, which will be $179,043.00. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Nathan, I have a second by Seth. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion on the, or bring up about the,
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we do the cohorts for these second 9 weeks.
we have a motion on the floor by Seth to continue the cohorts into the second 9 weeks. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mickey. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Is there anything else that needs to come before the board?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor? We are adjourned.
We're good at that one.
Ladies, I'd like for the paper, okay, thank you, never mind. Justin's got it, he can submit it to the paper and he can get it on the website. Thank you again.